Hello there, Gemini. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is going to be a little tarot. I don't know what we're going to call it yet. This is basically a what's going on in your world spread, and then we'll look at the best way to navigate whatever's going on in your world. So it is a completely new format. If you guys would let me know in the comments what you think about this format once you've actually seen it and, kind of got a flavor for it and decide, well, what do I? How do I feel about this? So let's see here. We're going to do 4 cards, I guess, for each. And then after that, we'll see if there's anything else that Spirit wants to add to the message. But right now, what we have coming up for what's going on in your world, we're going to take a quick peek at the cards and then I'll more interpret them after that. But we do have the Keeper of Boons coming up. We have, following that, we have the Forge. And then behind the Forge, we had the 10 of Spells show up. Boo, ba da doo doo doo. And after that is the 6 of Boons. So I want to kind of feel into these cards and see what you do have going on. Oh, I called this the 10 of Spells. This is actually the 2 of Spells. Excuse me. I thought that was odd imagery for a 10. Okay, so it looks to me like you're making some decisions here about what is actually reciprocal. What do you consider reciprocal on a situation? And I think you're interacting with somebody who's pretty secure and stable. And when I say secure and stable, that can be financially, but that also can be emotionally. You're dealing with somebody who's pretty even keel. It takes a lot to really get this person upset or to fly off the handle or anything like that. So you're dealing with somebody who's pretty secure and stable. And I think your interactions with this person are actually building your self esteem. So if you're dealing with somebody who seems pretty even keel and those interactions are not building your self esteem, we're not talking about that. Okay. This is somebody who they're secure and stable, and interacting with them helps build your self esteem. And with that 2 of Spells, you have decisions to make. This is where I saw you, figuring out what actually is reciprocal, what is fair in this situation. For what I am receiving from this person, what is fair for me to give back? Or maybe it's for what I am offering this person, what is fair for that person to give me back? Are you offering a service to this person? Is this person offering you that you could have a contract with them or whatever? But there's something here where you're being asked, first of all, they add to your sense of self-esteem and your own self-confidence. And so your question is really, okay, and what is all of this worth? And what is a reciprocal way to handle whatever this situation is? So could it be a romantic situation? Sure. Could it be an employer-employee situation? Sure. Could it be an independent contractor situation? I think that's more likely than employer-employee, but sure for both of those. So you're going to have to kind of pin this down as to where it's happening in your life. I'm just telling you what I see. And for those of you who don't know, who haven't been reading with me for a long time, my deal with Sacred Spirit is that I can bring through a message that can help you guys move forward productively with your lives without having to know like all the details and all the dirty laundry type stuff. Okay. So I'm not even going to worry about where that's happening in your life. I'm going to trust that you're able to figure that out. Now, looking at your best way to navigate through this, what we have showing up here is the 9 of Boons, followed by the Keeper of Visions in reverse, followed by the 6 of Spells. That's 2 sixes in this spread now. And 3, the 6 of Visions in reverse. So sixes talk about things that are domestically oriented, things that have to do with family, things that have to do with home. Sometimes that's home of origin, sometimes that's current home. So I think with these sixes, we've definitely got a theme. Yeah, we don't have any other repeaters at all. Yep. Okay. So let's look at your best navigation advice. So the theme, by the way, is going to be something that's domestic, something about home or about family, about home of origin, maybe. So navigating through this. The Nine of Moons talks about doing something very independently and being self sufficient and having created a pretty decent situation for yourself. And oh, this is interesting. I feel like I'm getting more information about things that have impacted you. So it looks to me like this keeper of vision in reverse. I think that at one point your self-esteem and your self-confidence was really good. And at that point you were doing things independently on your own. There's a keeper of visions in reverse. This is somebody who can be really sarcastic and snarky. They can be emotionally manipulative or emotionally cutting. So there was somebody around when you were on your own that really was not. I mean, that's the opposite of helping someone's self esteem. Okay. So I think that's why your self esteem may have needed some help whenever we have this other person coming in that's stable and very even keeled, helping that self esteem, helping you basically re regulate emotionally. Six of Spells talks about this idea of recognition. I think this is you recognized. I think you recognized in the past that this other person, yeah. Is this in the past? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, no, it's not in the past. So this person who is helping you, you'll have to excuse me as I'm putting your picture together here, but this person who is helping you, that is, and when I say helping you, they're helping you with your self-confidence. They're helping you to re-regulate your own nervous system, basically. This is giving you, you have choices about in what way do you want to compensate them for that? And what do they owe you? What do you owe them? All that stuff. Okay? When we look at navigation, we see you doing things very well, independently and self sufficiently. There's somebody here who does not like that. And they are doing the opposite. They're trying to come against that self esteem that's growing. I don't think they're winning. They're trying to come against it. And here's the thing, I still see you growing your self esteem enough that you're getting appreciated for something. All right. This can be getting a raise at some situation. This can be just somebody saying, hey, that was magnificent. Thank you for doing that. But you're getting appreciated for something that you've done that benefits not only you, but other people around you, in spite of Mr. Snarky Emotional Manipulator here. Okay? It's like the positivity that this other person is giving to you that helps you lift up and helps you with your self confidence is also helping you overcome, shall we call it the snarkiness of this person. Okay? And we have the Six of Visions in reverse. So Six of Visions in reverse basically says, it's important to recognize when things are not going well, where things are not going well and where things are going well. I feel like this is a long way around of saying what has seemed to be a theme for this time frame for just about everybody is this is a long way around of saying pay attention to who you're with. Pay attention to how they how do they make you feel? Not even so much about what do they do for you, what do they give you, but how do they make you feel? Do they make you feel capable and alive and empowered? Or do they make you feel like you're a dumbhead and not good at anything and not good enough? Because how people make you feel, it's so important who we hang out with because we do take on a little bit of that they're sending us. And so if we are taking on less of the ick and more of the great stuff, then that empowers us to actually move forward in a better way, a healthier way, a happier way, and to actually reach some of our goals. So this is really a long way of saying pay attention to your company, who you're hanging out with. Make sure that the people that you're hanging out with is positive because you have two key players that are showing up in your life right now, Geminis. One is very good for you, excuse me, and one is exactly the opposite. And I feel like this one that's exactly the opposite could also be sort of putting you on a roller coaster because sometimes they could be saying, oh, I'm so happy I know you. You're so great. You're so wonderful. And then the next time they're saying, why did you put your makeup on like that? Or why did you say that? Nobody wants to hear that. Whatever it is that's coming out of their mouth. I might have heard a few things so I could make examples. But anyway, whatever there's coming out of those people's mouths, those are not, we have to kind of get thick skin so those things don't bother us. But also, it's really helpful to recognize, oh, wait a second, how is this person making me feel? Is this a consistent thing? Is this always how they make me feel? And just be very careful about what you're letting into your ear gates and your eye gates, what you're letting into your mind. All right, let's see if there's anything else that Spirit wants to add here. Really, this is basically this is a call to awareness, is what this is, and it's a call to awareness about the energy that the people around you are passing along to you, so that once we're aware, we can figure out what we want to do with that, how we want to handle that. What else do you want to say to our Geminis? Okay, so our last three cards come up as the Two of Boons, followed by the Seven of Spirals in reverse. By the way, we don't flip out about reversals here. Is that your first reversal? Almost. Eight of Boons in reverse. Okay, so basically what we're seeing here with this Two of Boons, this is like juggling. This is like trying to carry, everything, keep everything all flowing all the time. And you're able to do that. The problem is that it makes you really vulnerable when you're trying to carry this energy that's tearing you down and this energy that's building you up. And you're trying to manage both of those and trying to pay attention to both of those. That kind of pulls you in a couple of different directions. And so it does make you vulnerable. Well, what does it make you vulnerable to? With this Eight of Boons in reverse, there's a plenitude of things that this could be. Eight of Boons is my work card, or it's my working things out card. So if you're trying to appease somebody who is snarky, to use my word from before, and somebody who is empowering and lifting you up, you're going to be split in two directions. Well, when you're split in two directions, guess what? You're not going anywhere because your energy is scattered. And so here we see you balancing, just trying to balance both situations. And that makes you really vulnerable. You can't hold your own ground. You can't make any progress in any one place. And with this, I think this means that this just doesn't work out. Like, just overall, big picture, trying to be involved in both of those energies just doesn't work out. Now, that's not to say that somebody couldn't have a bad day and be around and just need some help. That's one thing. But if you've got somebody that is sort of tearing you down like on the regular, that's a whole other thing to deal with emotionally and spiritually. So that's what I'm really seeing here, that Spirit's asking you to look out for. Like, how are your people making you feel? And once you come to that awareness of how they're making you feel, then you get to decide what you want to do about that. But you should definitely be aware that trying to walk in both of those energies is not going to work out for you because it's not balanced. And so it's going to cause you problems, basically. All right? So awareness is everything. It's the first start to fixing stuff, right? If you don't know the faucet's leaky, you're not trying to go out and buy the washer, are you? All right, guys. Thank you very much for stopping by and hanging out. I appreciate y'all so much. And I hope that you guys are able to bring this situation around into a really, really good one. Of course, if you want a private reading, all my contact information is on the website at the top of the screen there. All you have to do is get a hold of me to get one scheduled. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of you. The rest of you, I'll see you back the next time I do a Gemini video. Peace out.